Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining me every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do share it with your friends and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of a story. Thank you for your support. Today, Jaydev joins me in this session. Welcome, Jaydev.
Good evening to all the viewers once again. Yeah, so we'll come to the first piece of news is with regards to Sami Wankhede and Nawab Malik. So the latest is that Samir Wankhede's father filed a 1.25 crore defamation suit against Nawab Malik after a barrage of attacks aimed at the family, particularly his son Samir Wankhede. So, as you know, that Samir's stint in NCB ended on December 31st. Now, the Bombay High Court on Tuesday issued a show cause notice to NCP leader Nawab Malik on the contempt petition filed by Samir's father, Nyan Dev, who accused Malik of violating his undertaking to the court. Malik, who faces a defamation suit case filed by Nyande, promised on November 29 that he will not make any defamatory statements against Nyande or his family. Nyande filed a contempt case against him in December after Nawab Malik continued his attacks. So Nyande filed a contempt petition against Malik, but the minister was let off after tendering an unconditional apology, pointing out that he wasn't aware that his responses to the questions from the media and interviews were also barred. Now, Nyandev last month approached the division bench of justices S.J. Kattawala and Milind Jadhav with another contempt petition complaining that Nawab Malik made defamatory statements against family on December 28, January 2nd, and 3rd. Now, senior advocate Virendra Saraf, appearing for former NCB officer's father Nyandev, told the High Court that Nawab Malik continued to make defamatory statements on the pretext of highlighting a hearing by the caste scrutiny committee against Samir. Saraf said the comments made by Malik on the 3 days were designed to defame Samir, as Malik referred to the committee's proceedings as a fake caste certificate inquiry. Advocate Karl, who appeared for Malik, however, insisted that his statements were the only intended to inform the public of the caste scrutiny committee calling Samir Wankhede for the hearing. Now, in the affidavit submitted on behalf of Malik, Tamboli said the statements were made on the assumption that it was within the ambit of undertaking given by him, and he hadn't even named Samir Wankhede, and it was the petitioner who added the name in the excerpts furnished to the court in the contempt petition. The bench, however, said the usage of the word fake cited by the excerpts provided by Nyandev indicated that Nawab Malik was trying to defame Samir Wankhede, and hence Malik was liable to show cause why action should not be initiated against him for contempt of court. Malik has been told to respond to the notice by February 21st. The bench also noted that if Malik was contesting the veracity of the statement attributed to him by the petitioner, he should have given the accurate version. We are therefore not satisfied with the respondent and direct registry to issue show cause notice returnable on February 21st. This is observed by the bench. So this is the latest with regards to the Samir Wankhede and Nawab Malik case.
Yeah, yeah. Look at the kind of hounding that is happening, with these Mahavikas Aghadi politicians. They have absolutely no scruples at all. So this will continue. I mean, this has to come to an end. Okay. Meanwhile, amid Shahrukh Khan's spitting controversy, his video of "My family has fought for India" appears on social media. Now, how his family has fought, we have to find out. The video shows Shah Rukh Khan saying that his family has fought for India. And during Lataji's funeral, people were shocked to see him spitting at her body, which was covered by the Indian flag, as a mark of respect. His gesture made people very extremely angry. His PR went into overdrive and dug out an old video that sees SRK talking about his idea of India. The video shows him saying, "Ownership does not mean that this is our India. It is what we have to do for the country. Those who are called anti-nationals or anti-social are people who do not think they are part of India." The video, which was originally shared by a news organization, Brute India, was reshared by dancer turned host Raghav Jewel. SRK then added, I feel sad because my family has fought for this country. I feel even sadder on reading about such things as it takes away from what my father told me. Keep this country free as I gave it to you. After Shahrukh Khan's splitting controversy made headlines, Urmila Matondkar, the jaded actress who shifted to Congress in a last bit to garner some attention, tweeted in his support. Urmila had tweeted a photo of PM Narendra Modi and wrote in Hindi, This is not spitting. This is called offering prayer and blowing into the wind. This practice, this culture represents India too. You put up a photo of the Prime Minister. If only you could have learned something from him. Listen to this one song by India's great daughter, where she speaks of providing good sense to everyone and how each human being is a God's child. Now, is Madam waiting for a lucrative offer from SRK? Well, even if he does offer you a role, Urmila, it will be, surely be that of a grandmother, as he will be a hero in the coming decades too. Yeah, back to you. Chitra.
Yeah. Now, coming to the next piece of news is that with regards to the UP elections, which is very close by, and PM Narendra Modi, while addressing a rally in Saharanpur, UP has asserted that Muslim women are appreciating the BJP government's intention of acknowledging female participation in the development process. Now, PM Modi emphasized the move by his government to ban the practice of triple talaq in 2019. PM Modi, in his speech, said, Our principle of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is the key to UP's development. Ensuring the participation of women in the process of development is of primary concern to the BJP. While every sector is being opened for them, Muslim women are appreciating our efforts in this. While talking about the triple talaq issue, he said, We have liberated Muslim women from the vices of triple talaq. The law that was passed protected them from the regressive practice. The women understand that it is our party which stands for the rights and equality. He later added, however, when Muslim women started openly supporting the BJP, when they started being appreciative of the move, the self appointed authorities of their votes got restless. After watching the videos of Muslim women supporting the triple talaq bill, the Tekedas thought of controlling their lives. The leaders thought if the girls started supporting Modi, they would start ruling the house. And hence, new ways to stifle the voices of these women and to discourage their progress are being invented. These people are influencing Muslim women to ensure that they remain disempowered and away from their rights. While finishing his comments, PM Modi ji assured that his government stands with every Muslim woman who has been a victim of the oppression. In 2019, the PM Modi-led NDA government passed the Triple Talaq law that has outlawed the practice of instant divorce by Muslim women, um, ensuring criminal punishment for such cases. Saharanpur, a district in western UP, holds a considerable Muslim voter base with a population of over 42%. So the district goes on assembly polls in the second phase on February 14th, so which is not very far off. So this is the latest with regards to the UP election. And yeah, so coming to the next piece of news, what do you have?
Yeah, okay. Now, see, if in contrast, Congress continues its melodrama, all to garner a few votes by splitting society. Our women won't remove hijab. You, that which he means by which he means Hindus, go and stop women who enter temples wearing chaddis. Congress leader Ahmed Patel in Kalburgi. Our women won't remove hijab. This is decided in our religion. We will die, but we will not remove hijab. You people go and stop your ladies who are entering mandirs wearing chaddis and shorts. Do not provoke us, the Congress leader was saying. The Congress leader from Kalburgi, Dr. Ahmed Patel, has made a crass misogynist comments against Hindu women. The objectification came from the municipal council members who were seen speaking at a protest by people who want hijabs to be worn inside the college and school classrooms in violation of dress codes. While addressing a group of people gathered, Patel commented, Khidmat e Millat had protested against the ban on students who wear hijab. No dogs from the BJP have given their lives for the sake of the nation. We belong to this country. We did not come from anywhere. Speaking about the hijab controversy that has erupted, he said, our women won't remove hijab. This is decided in our religion. We will die, but we will not remove hijab. Ahmed Patel, while targeting Hindus over women entering the temple, said, very in a very vulgar way, you people go and stop your women from entering temples, entering mandirs wearing chaddis and shorts. Do not provoke us. The Hindu-phobic and misogynist remark came when the leader was addressing a group of burqa-clad women gathered in protest. Crass, sexually derogatory comments against women, added with open Hindu hatred, is not new to the Indian political discourse. Here, I would like to comment on Shabana's and Javed's, sort of tweets as well. Javed said, so let me just read it. I have never been in favor of hijab or burqa. I will stand by that. But at the same time, I have nothing but deep contempt for those mobs of hooligans who are trying to intimidate a small group of girls, and that too unsuccessfully. Is this their idea of manliness? What a pity. Now, here we need to just remind Javed Akhtar that you speak of a small group now. What happened in the Delhi riots? These small groups became very big groups, and suddenly it was all violence, where top officers were butchered and women gang raped. So we do not know how small groups become big groups. We have no trust. And then we have his wife saying, showing the Muslim women wearing the, Indian flag like colors. How about beating them at their own game, she says. And she addresses the tweet to who else but Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi. Now, this husband and wife are a very strange pair, because you remember, when we were doing the Sri Devi story, and Dipti was, reading out the contents, and she said that Sri Devi had attended a party in Javed's house where some terrorists had come, and they were hatching some plan. Now, see, I really don't understand what is going on in the Javed and Shabana house, because his son and his soon-to-be daughter-in-law, now they've been living together, Shibani and Farhan Akhtar, they've been living for 7 years without marriage. I don't know whether their religion allows that. And many of the photographs that are in Google are, of her wearing very tiny, whiny, bikinis, and where he's hugging her in a very, very vulgar manner. Now, I don't know whether she would suggest that the society women should wear hijab, but she can't say that to her own daughter-in-law. Now, what's going on in their house? We do not know. So, if this is also upsetting for Shabana, then Shabana should be wearing the burqa herself. Now, she's the kind who wears beautiful Indian costumes, except for the tikka, she acts very, very traditional, because earlier in her movies, she used to act the roles of Hindu girls, in famous movies like Mrinal Sen and, other top directors, where she used to make money on the backs of Hindus. And then now, when she has become a spent force, now she decides that India has nothing more to offer her. And hence, this sort of backbiting and lashing, to divide society starts with the son, with the father and the, with the husband and the wife in front and the son at the back, making movies which make fun of our gods, and degrade Sanatana Dharma. These are the people who are going to teach us what to do. Now, I would like to tell viewers that, see, uniform, what is the meaning of uniform? Uniform is discipline. It is for equality. Why do people wear uniforms? So that you do not differentiate between the rich and the poor. And that's why we have uniforms. If it can't go through their skulls, that means there's something wrong. You wear a uniform, whether you're in an airline or an army, or schools, because you don't want to be differentiated. And this is our country. And it's high time that our leaders started putting these rules down very forcibly. We do not need the courts to come and interfere in everything, including whether you're going to eat bel puri or not. This is all very silly, and they carry it too far. Yeah, back to you, Jim.
Yeah, I would like to add my comments regarding the hijab row is that we need a uniform civil code in schools also.
Yeah.
So that schools is a place where all the people, all the students, they come irrespective of whatever their religion is, caste, creed. They are looked at as one. So that's the very idea of school uniform, is not to differentiate between caste, creed, or any particular religion. So why you're taking some what do you say dress of a particular religion, and then you're putting it over the school uniform, right? That is not necessary, right? It can be done elsewhere in your house or any of your religious institutions, but a school is, I mean, it's not necessary. This is my opinion, and unnecessarily these political parties like Congress is sort of trying to divide and rule the community in India, and also they are trying to sort of get some votes, destabilize the BJP ruled states by all these what do you say
Yeah,
activities.
yeah. So here, Jaydev, I'd
Yeah.
also like to make an important point. See, very relevant point made by Maya. She says Priyanka Vadra coming out in support of women's attire, saying they have a right to wear hijab, bungat, or bikini, and they'll be fight it better this time. Bikini and fighting. Now, first point: would she mind if women came in bikini to colleges and schools? Okay, is that okay? No. Now, Priyanka Gandhi has a very weird sense of, dressing. Whenever
Mhm.
election time comes, she will take out her oldest cotton clothes, cotton saris, and wear the largest bindi to show that she's a Hindu. Okay. All other times, she wears jeans and skimpy tops. Okay, so Priyanka, we don't know where you fit in. I mean, are you an Italian, or are you a Italian, or are you Indian? We do not know. Okay, so people will not like to take your advice, because if we really need to take your advice, you need to walk the talk, which you don't. So obviously, we are not going to listen to you. But of course, if people like Shabana Azmi think that you are the king or the queen, then that's her problem, because they want a party that divides and rules. Yes. Back to you, Jen.
Yeah, so coming to the next piece of news is regarding Sachin Vaze. Now, Sachin Vaze wants to become an approver in the ED case against Anil Deshmukh. Now, Sachin Vaze has written to the ED, which is probing the money laundering, as you know, and against the 72-year-old NCP leader Anil Deshmukh and his son Salil and Rishikesh, expressing his desire to become an approver in the agency's case. Now, dismissed Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vaze has written to the ED. Now, Vasi, who wrote the application from Taloja jail, is also an accused in the ED case against Deshmukh. He said, I'm willing to make voluntary and truthful disclosure of entire facts known to me regarding the above deferred matter, which is the Deshmukh case, before a competent magistrate. Now, in the letter addressed to the ED Assistant Director Tasin Sultan, Wazir said, I request you to kindly treat this application for granting me pardon under sections 306, 307 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Now, the application was signed by Sachin Wazir himself and sent to the ED through post mail. And another U-turn is that Waze has once again taken a U-turn. He has retracted his statements made before the Justice K.U. Chandiwal Commission and reiterated that the stand taken in the statements given to the ED. In the statements given to the ED, Waze has revealed that on Deshmukh's instructions, he had called a meeting of bar owners in Mumbai. Between December 2020 and February 2021, he had collected 4.71 crore rupees from the owners of orchestra bars in Mumbai to avoid police interference in their establishments. Waze added that he had handed over the extorted money in two installments to Deshmukh's personal assistant Kundan Shinde. However, while testifying before the Chandiwal commission set up by the Maharashtra government to inquire into the allegations of corruptions leveled by Parambir Singh, Waze had taken a contrary stand. Now, the 52-year-old controversial cop, a prime accused in the Antilia case, during his cross examination before the inquiry commission, said that he had no occasion to make any payment to Deshmukh. To the question that if anybody from the office of Deshmukh had asked him to collect money from bars and restaurants in Mumbai, as alleged by Parmveer Singh, he had answers in the negative. On Wednesday, Vaze filed a fresh affidavit before the Chandiwal Commission, claiming that before it, he had taken a stand contrary to his statements to the ED because he was under tremendous pressure. Now, in the 10-page affidavit, Vaze claimed that Deshmukh himself and the people associated with him asked Vaze to collect money from the bars and restaurants in the city. The latest affidavit also said that Vaze was in direct contact with Anil Deshmukh and had called him to inquire about the Anvay Naik suicide case. And in fact, the Anvay Naik suicide case is nothing but the TRP case which was associated with Arnab Goswami of the Republic TV. So Vaze claimed that Deshmukh was impressed by the seizure of huge stocks of illegally hoarded masks on the basis of the dismissed corps inputs in March 2020, and therefore the NCB leader had asked him to make representation for reinstatement in service. Now, Vaze also stated that in the affidavit that from the time he was lodged in Taloja jail, basic facilities such as medical treatment and food, as per his medical condition, were denied to him. He was denied these facilities despite the court's order. After the CABG surgery, he had been denied mandatory medical facilities such as physiotherapy, follow ups with the treating cardiac surgeon, and regular medical checkups. So he had some sort of cardiac problem or like a heart problem, and for which, according to him, he was denied medical facilities. Now, Vasi also claimed that Paramveer Singh and several other police officers from Mumbai are implicated in a series of false criminal cases. Now, upon my arrest by the crime branch, I was under tremendous pressure and thus I conceded to the entire 15 days of police custody. During the said period of police custody, I was mentally harassed and victimized so as to affect my psyche and my state of mind. I have always been subjected to several mental torture and harassment, apparently by Deshmukh, and even after his resignation, it has continued. So much so that on his behalf, his representatives have also continued to do the same. It is in these circumstances that I do not have any capacity or wherewith all to oppose the police custody as and when it was sought. He added, I am typically a victim affected by the Stockholm syndrome at the hands of Deshmukh, who even today holds tremendous power and clout over me. However, the commission has rejected the affidavit filed by Vaze, confirmed Deshmukh's lawyer Girish. The next hearing of the commission is on February 15th, when it will decide on Vaze's other application seeking permission to cross examine Anil Deshmukh again. So he's playing the victim card, and he's blaming Anil Deshmukh for all the torture, mental torture, and whatnot. And
How
he
things
had
are changing.
and he did not receive any medical attention after the cardiac operation and stuff.
Yeah.
But Parmveer Singh claims that it was Anil Deshmukh and Uddhav and Aditya Thackeray who reinstated Sachin Vaze. So now is a perfect time for CBI to question Vaze and Paramveer with regards to the SSR case
SSR case, yes.
and Disha case.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is your
Absolutely.
take on this?
Yeah, yeah. No, see, what happens is now these people will act like, mice. When they
Yeah,
were in power and were being given support by the Mahavikas Agadi, they were lions, and they were treating Arnab and other, Kangana and all like mice. Okay. So this is just how what you say, the cookie rolls. This is how,
cookie crumbles. Yeah,
it's so strange. Anyway, I hope that the truth about the SSR case will come out. That is
yes,
what we are after. Meanwhile, this is just the trailer. The movie is still left. Prosecutor reveals what Shajil Imam said during the Shaheen Bagh protests, opposes the bail plea. After hearing the arguments of both sides, the court reserved its order on the issue of bail to 2020 Delhi riots accused Shajil Imam. Special Public Prosecutor Amit Prasad, while opposing the 2020 anti Hindu Delhi riots accused Sharjeel Imam's bail plea, told the Delhi court on Thursday that Imam has specifically said, "ये तो trailer है, picture abhi baki hai." This is just the trailer, the picture is still left. When Shaheen Bagh protests took place, I have to give names of the witnesses who gave statements under Section 164, he said. The Delhi court yesterday continued to hear the bail plea of riots accused Umar Khali. Sharjeel Imam and five others accused in the 2020 anti-Hindu riot cases. SPP Prasad presented specific chats between Sharjeel Imam and his brother Muzammil. He explained how in the chats Sharjeel Imam had discussed Hum dono ki mastermind hai. We too are the masterminds of Shaheen Bagh and what is to follow. See how politically and religiously motivated this whole riots was, where so many people suffered, so many died, many were raped, when Imam's counsel stated before a bench of additional sessions, Judge Amitabh Rawat, that the arrest of Imam is not for conspiracy in the case but for seditious speech that happened prior to the arrest. Prasad said, "Arrest of Shajil Imam is not for conspiracy, it is for seditious speech. To say he was arrested for conspiracy is a misdirected argument. Conspiracy itself can be investigated independently, even if Shajil was arrested pursuant to seditious speeches." Borrowing an example from the game of cricket to argue why Imam was roped in for the conspiracy case, SPP stated, when a cricket team plays, every player has its own importance. In the sequence of openers, assuming one's wicket is lost, that doesn't mean the intent to win the game is lost. Merely because Imam is removed from the team by the event of this arrest for giving inflammatory speeches doesn't mean the entire conspiracy is abandoned, the SPP is submitted. The government counsel read from the charge sheet that Shahjil Imam's position is that the conspirators wanted to overthrow a lawfully elected government and inflict sectarian violence. The plan was to overthrow the government and throw the country into complete anarchy. So, this was the mission. Merely because Imam is removed from the team by the event of his arrest for giving such speeches doesn't mean the entire conspiracy is abandoned, is what SPP submitted. The government counsel read from the charge sheet that Shajil Imam's position is that the conspirators wanted to overthrow a lawfully elected government and inflict sectarian violence. The plan was to overthrow the government and throw the country into complete anarchy. Now, here, what I'd like to say is that we have heard of the way they killed a police officer, the way his hands were tied. He was thrown into a what you call a sewer. A girl was gang raped and she was burnt and thrown into the sewage drain. And a small young boy who had come from somewhere to work in a sweet shop, his hands were cut. This is the kind of monstrosity that was displayed during these rites. And look at the master planners. And look at the way the courts are using different kind of languages to say what should be done and what should not be done. If only, and this is what I'm sure most of the public feel is that if only the language was simple and the perpetrators were punished. That is all the public is asking you. Every time we ask you something, you'll bring out the technicalities and say that this is not possible, rules have to be followed, technicalities have to be followed. While the victim suffers, the victim's parents suffer, the family goes into depression. It's a very sad situation. Back to you, Jerry.
Yeah, see, there's someone saying Kajal Devgan is no more. It's fake news.
Yeah, so let's
Yeah,
delete
I'll
it.
go to next piece of news.
Yeah.
Is with regards to Tata. So Ratan Tata takes a ride in a custom built Nano EV. What is EV? EV is electric vehicle. Now, Electra EV, the company behind the custom-built Nano EV, shared a news on LinkedIn, calling it a moment of truth. So the Tata Nano was a passion project for Ratan Tata. Branded as the cheapest car, Nano was seen as having immense potential in developing countries. Recently, Electra EV, an electric vehicle powertrain solutions company founded by the business tycoon, delivered a custom-built 72 volt Nano EV to him. the company shared the news, calling it a moment of truth. A picture of the car along with Ratan Tata and his young assistant Shantanu Naidu. The company wrote in a post on the business networking platform LinkedIn that they were super proud of having delivered this specimen to Tata for his valuable feedback. Ratan Tata took a ride in the Nano EV. So it is a moment of truth for Team Electra EV when our founder takes a ride in the custom built 72 volt Nano EV. Now we are super proud to deliver Mr. Tata's Nano EV and gain insights from his invaluable feedback. Now, so this is the latest.
Yeah, no, so I have a very interesting piece of news,
Yeah.
Jaydev. So let me just inform the viewers about something which is quite positive.
Mhm.
Now, friends, paralyzed people may soon be able to walk again. Scientists have created a revolutionary spinal cord implant. Millions of people around the world are paralyzed, and there is
Mhm.
currently no treatment for the medical condition. In a first, scientists have created spinal cord implants that may soon
Oh,
enable paralyzed people to walk again.
wow.
Yeah. The 3D implants are made using human cells. As per researchers, the breakthrough implants returned a success rate of 80% in a lab
Oh,
test on paralyzed mice. This means 8 out of 10 mice were able to overcome the limitations in mobility induced by their paralysis. Preparations are underway for the revolutionary implants to undergo clinical trials in human as per a Bloomberry report. So this is something very important, friends.
yes,
With
positive.
findings published in the journal Advanced Science, the Israel-based researchers used tissue samples of patients and then converted them into functioning spinal cord implants. The process mirrors how spinal cord develops in a human embryo. Scientists hope that their work would enable personalized implants in paralyzed patients, which can repair damaged tissue but does not carry the risk of being rejected by the body. So this is something I'm sure will make many people hopeful, you know. So let's hope that this will be successful when they try it out on human beings. So that's all
And
for now,
and
friends.
I do hope that this the people who are in this project, they get a lot of funds to carry on with the human trials, and ultimately
Yeah.
they get approval, and it becomes available to uh, the public, and
Yes.
it is not very expensive also. That the cost is factor is also very big.
Yeah. In fact,
This.
see, Jaydev, uh,
Mm,
what uh, what Modi ji has proved is that he has opened
mm,
alternative medical shops where the same medicines are available at a fraction of the cost.
yes.
You have a prime minister who's trying his best to get medicines for the needy at a very reasonable cost. It's only
Yeah.
because of
See.
these pharma lobbies that we have a problem.
Yeah, and also that Modi ji has taken a very good step in making medicines very affordable for the common or people or poor people. Now also hospitals should be equipped like government hospitals where with the latest technology, so that even the poor people can afford medical treatment, which requires very high sort of medical devices to completely cure their disease, and what
Yeah.
so if that is also implemented in certain hospitals in certain cities across India, then that'll be a very great service for the whole of humanity.
Yeah. So, friends, if you'd like to join us, I've just given you the link, and please do join us. Meanwhile, I'll just read some of the important comments. Maya says Israeli scientists have been doing some phenomenal research and hope they're not stopped in their tracks by the international pharma. See, actually, Maya, what you said is so true. It is these pharma lobby that are our biggest enemies. Even what is happening to each and every household. Let me tell you here. See, we have our friend, a group of friends, and all of us, what we discuss is that suddenly each and every family, you know, is taking ill. Whether it's the grandfather, the father, the son, the mother, the wife, everybody. And this illness, I don't know whether it's Omicron, takes 2 weeks. And during these 2 weeks, you're so exhausted, you know. And by the time you come out of it, it's another week. So it's 3 weeks of suffering. And this is all created in labs. So all the credit should go to countries like China, for making the world sick. Everybody wants, countries to progress. It's terrible. I mean, when you hear about everybody who's sick, I mean, it's what are they doing to human beings? Beyond, yes, I think Karthik and many others are saying Beyond is a very good channel. Thank you, Swara. On a lighter note, yes. Let me just go to some other comments. Hope the international medical mafia doesn't stop its production. True.
True, Karthik, that's a very valid point which you raised. And sometimes I have discussed with my friends actually as to why there's no cure for cancer. And is it because that the medical sort of industry fears that if there's a cure for at least stage one cancer, that the chemotherapy business will be affected, right? So
Yeah.
these are some of the things which I used to discuss with my friends that
Yeah.
if they find a cure for at least stage one cancer, then the chemotherapy business will sort of suffer. So all these things I sort of discuss, and I wonder if there's any sort of purposely are they sort of not creating what do you say cure or vaccines for certain diseases like HIV, and or cure for cancer. So these are some things which I wonder if they're doing it purposefully so that their profits, don't suffer.
Yeah. Karthik says in case of
Yeah.
Shajin Imam, the case was only about sedition. Hope
Mm.
government takes more action against him. Absolutely. These people should be jailed for life.
Mm.
Sylvia, yes, that's true. It's these pharma companies who are the ones who do not want anything good happening in the medical line that's affordable and easy.
Yes.
Now with the new JNUVC, once again controversy with Maharashtra Minister Uday Samant calling for a probe in the Santishri Pandit's appointment. Yes, they're just waiting for such things to happen, Maya. Chitra says SSR case is important for CBI to solve because doctors, police, politicians, drug dealers, and child traffickers and Wood is involved in suppressing the truth after murdering an innocent soul. So well said. Okay. Jasna says, I heard it was fake news.
Fake.
Okay, some fake news is going around about Kajal, which we do not take seriously. Mink, Karthik was referring to Kujliwal, but my bad, he didn't go to IIM. Maya says, PBS and Vaze are suddenly turning into poor me. Should they really be? No, they should not. Get the information from them and give them the same treatment that others should get. SSR case will come out, madam. If so much is coming out to open, I'm sure. Yes. I think I trust your words. Muslims are planning to make Shaheen Bagh 2 due to election going on. Yes. Priya says, in school uniform, we not only do study, but we also have many other activities like guides, scouts, weekly sports, annual functions. Will these, see, funny thing is, Priya, to confirm that they can do it, they were showing some of these abaya ladies, playing football. You know, it was absolutely ridiculous. The clothes are made to facilitate you in doing yoga or other exercises. I mean, it's only sensible to do that. Maria is saying he's claiming Stockholm syndrome. He was openly committing crime. Okay. Sylvia, yes, the truth on SSR's case is what we await. Karma is like a boomerang. Vaze deserves what he went through. I don't know whether you guys have noticed that, see, a lot of these Bollywood, news actually shows only these starlets wearing very few clothes and saying that, see, oh, the internet is on fire, Netflix is on fire. And amusingly, I found a picture of Moni wearing a sort of a bathing suit, and she's somewhere in Kashmir where it's snowing. Now I don't know what's the connection, whether she's advising all the young girls that when it snows, you should actually wear swimsuits. We really don't know what is the message of.
Actually, I also noticed that in one of the films which is releasing on Amazon Prime, in which Deepika Padukone and Ananya Pandey is acting, that every time some sort of press conference is happening, we see small clips on Instagram reels, and that Ananya is wearing a short dress and Deepika Padukone is wearing even a shorter dress, exposing herself more, and she Deepika is trying to sort of look younger
Outdo.
than Ananya Pandey. Yeah, so it's like
Yeah. Metal says, keep religion and politics out of education. Poisoning young minds like this is despicable. Yes. Ming says, और IIM की डिग्री लेके बैठा है कुछ काम के नहीं what a waste of education. I don't think he's even studied up to fifth standard. you know if you're talking about Arvind Kejriwal, Mink, I don't think he is even past fifth standard. That is the kind of behavior he resorts to. Maria says, Paramveer should be treated in the same way as Wazi, needs to be thrown in jail swiftly. Then the real facts should come out. Well said. Absolutely. Meera Kumaran says, don't like the uniform, then go and study in a madrasa and remain backward forever. Yeah, and I think they should also teach them that the earth continues to be flat. You know, that's another thing they should teach. Yes.
no, actually, see, Mira, this is all an agenda, actually, by certain vested interest, who works in sort of,
Yeah.
they want to create some sort of communal disharmony in India. And this is also part of the
Bring the religion.
Kutte gang. Yeah. So this is all an agenda. It's not a very innocent, this thing,
Yeah.
protest.
Karthik says, has
Yeah.
anyone noticed what Malala wears in London? You will be shocked. I've seen it, Karthik, and I know where you're going. I
And
mean,
Karthik,
it all,
I
yeah.
mean, look at the hypocrisy of Malala. She was shot by a hardline Islamist group or Taliban group, and then the Western media accepted her and they gave her a lot of publicity. And now that same Malala has said that she's supporting hijab, and so isn't it the
In
biggest?
fact, this is the same, in fact, she and the, Talibanis are now thinking in the same way.
Hmm,
The people who shot at her, and she are saying that this is extremely good. Hijab should be kept. So now, why did she fight then? You
exactly.
know,
So she's the biggest hypocrite, right?
so it's absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Ming says it all makes sense now because our strategy going to lockdown was highlighting the migrant crisis that they created. Shame on Kejriwal. Here, see, Modi ji has brilliantly, stripped them naked, Congress and up, how they sent the poor migrant workers back to UP, thinking that, Yogi ji will not be able to handle it. In fact, it was Yogi ji's true test where he proved that he could do that and much more. He started giving them jobs. So they'll never leave their state at all. What a brilliant thing that Yogi ji did. Metal says, don't follow any drug you would, but wondering where all the fake feminists from the film industry and mainstream media are, Meenaji. When it suits their agendas, they are the first ones with placards. Maybe, I think, Metal, they are deciding what they should name their, children, next. And these children that are not given birth by them, but, growing in someone else's womb. So now they'll have to decide because see,
Surrogacy.
the Mughal Empire has many names, and I'm sure they may be in a sort of a topsy turvy, thinking, what to do, whether it should be this or that, and then to fool you guys, they will make it short, you know. So Akbar would be something like Ak, So we'll think it's Akshay Kumar, So that's what's going to happen now. Karthik says, let them wear whatever they want in public. But in schools, colleges, they have to follow rules as applicable for others. Absolutely. Khamosh says, Malala is a hype person. Just don't mention her. Also, the Gandhi, both are controversy creators. Instead, a peacemaker instead of peacemakers. Wankhede called both those girls for interaction that are in the movie. I'm sure they exchanged notes during film on how to lie. Deepika and Ananya, yes.
Ananya.
So much vulgar content, says Mad B, of new Deepika movie Gehraiya. How the movie will then promote infidelity, not being loyal to partners, and the new trend of Bollywood. See, Mad, you've said a brilliant thing. What you have said is exactly the mission,
Mm,
of these OTT platforms and the films that are being made. They want to break the social fabric. They don't want
yes.
happy families. They want children to be displaced. So then their drug, dealings will flourish because depressed children will take drugs. And if they're coming from broken houses, all the more better. That is their idea. Usha, Malala hypocrisy exposed. Yes. Mira, where is Sanjat? Okay. She's silent on atrocities on minorities in Pakistan. Usha. Continue boycott Bollywood. Chipika boycott Bollywood forever. I think every religion practice should be banned in educational institutions. Also, Saraswati Puja should be banned in government schools. Yes, madam, would like to see. Yes, we will contact him. Also, friends, what I'd like to ask you is that, see, if, for example, now if you're in a school or a college, your aim is to do well in studies and go out. That is the only aim. Now, earlier, when young girls used to wear some sort of tikka or even wore a red thread, around their hands, they were thrown out of school by missionaries. Okay, nothing happened. No High Court interfered. No Supreme Court came into being for this. How come only this one religion gets all the facilities? It's as if they live on a luxury drive. They have to just say, "Bring me breakfast," breakfast is served. "Bring me lunch," lunch is served. Why are all the other religions, sort of ignored? Don't they have any needs? Or they have to suffer all this while silently, while people just go during Friday and, on the streets when there are so many mosques around? Do you need to pray on streets and, sort of stop the commoners? The courts had said that they should stop, mosques should stop putting prayer on loudspeakers. Did they listen? They didn't listen. All the other, institutions, religious institutions stopped.
And also one very important thing is, can they do this in a countries like Russia or China? What will happen
Yeah,
if they sort of try to impose themselves?
yeah.
So now one more comment which I found interesting is that the real research details about cancer are not made public. Also, isn't it? I mean, when you have so much phenomenal research on other aspects, hardly anything is told about cancer. So yeah, this is very, even I also
See,
sort of, yeah.
yeah. See here, Karthik, what I'd like to tell you is that, uh, one thing is, if you use your intelligence, okay, and if you look at a lot of the good, YouTube is a source of wealth. Okay, if you look at follow some nutritionists and all, you'll know that eating good, healthy, natural food, which they say should not go beyond 3 hours, fresh food, you will never end up with cancer. Okay, so mainly we have to make sure that the food that you eat is not packaged, it's not full of all these additives, preservatives. Okay, so we know that. Second point is pollution. That's another factor. So we know exactly what is causing cancer. Is it not important for the doctors to tell the patients this is what you should do to your children? Nothing. No education. Please go straight away to the what you call the most dangerous forms of medicine, injections, and which cost the earth, and keep suffering from cancer. If you look at Ayurveda and all the other what you call forms of medicine and herbs and, a way of cooking. They never ended up with cancer. How many of our sages suffered from cancer? It's only the meat eaters, you know, and those who eat putrefied food, which is already dead. All our sages say, please do not put dead food into your stomachs. It takes a long time for us to discard non-vegetarian food. But when you do it, it's a fact that you feel lighter and you feel much healthier. You don't need a dead chicken in your system. I'm
See,
not
there's one.
promoting vegetarianism. What I'm saying is, when I did it, I felt much better, and I felt much healthier. So these are things that should be taught, and should be promoted by doctors. But no, they have to make their money, and that's why it's a lobby jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, there's one interesting comment by Usha. Hijab has been
Faruqa,
banned in
would you?
Norway, but Malala is silent on it because they gave her the Nobel Prize.
That's it.
Yeah,
Maya, Minaji, I'm afraid it is Lebanon's story being repeated in India. 20 years back, cosmopolitan country, today with influx of Syrian refugees, not accepted by neighbors, Jordan and Iraq, it is to, Islamize. Yes, extremely well said. Chandrika, Minaji, so well said. Thank you so much. Uh, Ma'am, please read Rachel's comment. Okay, let's go to just, Jede, can you just pick up?
yeah. I
Yeah.
think
One
she's
point before I go to that, Karthik says, yes, madam. Even Sadhguru says the same thing. The food has to be absolutely fresh, you know. And, if you're living in countries like India, you're very lucky because, the vegetable stores are very close to you. Some even come to your doorstep. So try to buy little, and cook just that much. And then, of course, the move towards millets is another good thing. So if you can have more millets, all your diabetes will go out of the window. So there's a lot of things that we can do to, try to change. I mean, you see, some people may have diseases. Even that can be rectified if you start eating properly. Yeah,
yeah. I
Jade,
think
can you
that
just check?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So agree with you, Naji, about vegetarian. I can relate. There's so much money being pumped into cancer research here.
yes,
Yeah, that's a very good point.
yeah. Can you just check Rochelle or
Yeah,
some point?
I can't find it.
Okay. Maria says, I think plant-based foods are an amazing substitute of food of meat. Yes. Rachel's message was okay, deleted. Okay. Anything important, Karthik? Or Arjun says, my Muslim friends are arguing me on why government schools do Saraswati Puja in schools. What's the relation of this and science, arts, or commerce? Arjun, before we go into this debate, let us first solve the hijab issue. Okay? Then we will answer this issue to them. So tell them, first let's sort out your issue. Okay? Then we will come to our issue. Ming. It's very heartening to see Muslim women coming in support of Modi ji and highlighting that life is better post three talk abolishment. Many are joining BJP, and linking, that's irking the opposition. Here, Mink, I'd also like to say, see, what is the purpose of the burqa? Now, the burqa in earlier days, perhaps it was to protect you from, unknown strangers and perhaps dangerous people. Now society has changed, and you can protect your women with whatever sort of karate and all that you can learn. Okay, now the strange thing is you want to protect your women, but you don't want to protect the women who belong to other religions. So that's hypocrisy, right? Love jihad is when you force women into marriage by saying that you are Hindus when you're actually not Hindus. Then you sort of convert them, and then if they don't agree, you push them to have meat, and if they don't eat, then you kill them. That's what has been happening in love jihad. So is that okay? A mullah tells you that if you go and get fall in love with a Brahmin woman, you will get so many lakhs. Okay, a woman who is lesser, a kshatriya, will get less money. So it goes on till down. It goes to Christian women who are cheaper than Hindu women. So is this what you're teaching your men, that go and do anything you want to other women of other religion, but leave our women covered and see. In fact, your women would also say thank you, just like they said to triple talaq. Women do not want to be tied down in burqas because it is uncomfortable. People like to dress. You think people, women who are walking are exposing themselves? No, they wear pants and shirt or a salwar kameez because they can run, they can act, they can do things fast. Please try to understand that. Clothes are for convenience, not for trying to say that you're possessive about your wife and children, so you don't want the world to see them. This is all Stone Age philosophy. You know, yeah,
Yeah, I have one good comment. That is from Maya. Eat local and seasonal. Since 3 years following Ayurveda in my lifestyle, diet and Rujuta's for food and yoga advice, and today I am off diabetic and BP medication with unexpected benefit of weight loss. So you can see the power of Ayurveda and our medicine
yeah. And
over
Ruchita
the
Divakar is one of the best nutritionists, who
yeah.
teaches you to eat right, without sacrificing on calories. So she tells you how to correct your way of eating without having to, cut down on important foods that you like. And the best thing about Rujita is that she Indianizes your food. So you know exactly what to eat. Now, I don't want to eat bread every day. So she'll tell you exactly what to eat. Have a dosha, or have idlis, or have uttapa, or have even fulkas. So she always gives you an option. And all these options are Indian. So it's very easy to follow her diet. Very well said, Maya. Yeah. So let's just take some other comments. Arjun. दादाजी वेदास पढ़ते थे, बोलते थे इंसान को जो जन्म लिए उसके 50 किलोमीटर के रेडियस पे उगे हुए वेजिटेबल्स ही ज्यादा खाना चाहिए, वो नहीं जो दूर उगते हुए, जब तक मजबूरी ना हो पर हम imported खाते. So true, Arjun. See, they always say that eat what is seasonal. Seasonal fruits and seasonal vegetables should be eaten, because anything that is coming from outside or sort of made ripe artificially is not good for health. So very well said. Karthik says, Pramila, Sanatana Dharma is a way of life and not religion. That's why these people do not accept Saraswati as goddess of knowledge, because they think it's a religion. Nisha says, yes, I think classes have started too. I faintly remember somewhere. Okay. I think that's all the comments for today, friends.
Yeah,
So
and I would like to conclude on one more thing is that everyone here, please share the interview with Samir Wankhede on our channel, and also, if possible, if you can share it to the youth, the young children, and schools and colleges, as to he specifically mentioned that everyone should take a pledge. It can be it's in the description of that video, and also you can sort of sign a pledge with mygov.in and say no
yeah,
to drugs, and you will get a certificate.
yeah.
So that's what
Also,
he
yeah. Also, friends, tomorrow Kajal will be joining us, and
yes.
I'm sure you'll love to hear her speaking. So please join us tomorrow. It'll be a very interesting session. Good night,
Good night.
and thank you.